A quiet cabin, fresh snow, a knock at the door. A neighbor on the phone with police says, "Officer, I own the whole mountain." He smiles once, presses record, and opens his binder. What happens next changes the whole town. The mountain was a quiet place in winter. Pines stood like dark candles. Snow rested on every branch. Wind moved slow through the trees and made a low, kind sound. At the base of one ridge sat a small hand-built cabin with a tin roof and a porch swing. The man who lived there was named Isaiah. He worked in town, came home late, and loved the slow life the mountain gave him. He called the cabin the place where my lungs remember how to breathe. Isaiah had saved for years. He read every paper twice before he signed. The land was not in a big community. No gates, no shared gym, no pool. Just a road that turned to gravel, a mailbox at the curve, and neighbors spread out across the hills. There was a small owners group for road upkeep and snow plowing. It was not a strict HOA. It was more like a shared calendar. Isaiah paid dues on time and shoveled the part of the road near his driveway because it felt right. On a cold Thursday, a letter came that felt different. It was from a woman named Margaret, who introduced herself as the mountain coordinator. She asked Isaiah to move his truck off his own gravel pad. She said it ruined the view for the ridge. The tone was sharp. Isaiah read it twice, looked at his survey map, and saw the truth. The gravel pad sat fully inside his landline. Isaiah wrote back with care. He thanked her for reaching out and attached the map. He offered to talk. He hit send and went to work. A week later, a second letter arrived. "Violation," it said. "Unapproved structure, porch swing." Isaiah smiled a little. The porch swing hung from the cabin roof beam. He had built it with his uncle. He checked the papers once more. There were no rules about swings, colors, or plants. This was not that kind of place. He wrote back again, polite, clear, with the page that explained the group's real job: plowing, road gravel, and the emergency phone tree. He asked for a call. None came. Snow fell hard the night it happened. The world outside turned quiet and white. Isaiah made soup, set his boots by the door, and put a log on the fire. He was rinsing a bowl when headlights slid across the window and stopped. A knock followed, short, hard, and close. When he opened the door, there stood Margaret in a winter coat and two people from the road group. A patrol SUV idled at the curb. The porch light made a bright circle in the snow. "Good evening," Isaiah said, voice calm. "Everything okay?" Margaret's words came quick. "We've had enough of your violations. You need to move that truck, remove the swing, and clear your porch. You're blocking community access to the view." Isaiah breathed once. "Ma'am, this porch is on my deeded land. The truck pad is inside my line. I shared my map." "We can talk tomorrow in daylight," her jaw set. She looked out at the snow and said, "Officer, I own the whole mountain. This cabin sits on common space. He won't cooperate." The officer looked from her to Isaiah, then at the porch steps. His hand rested on a small notebook. He did not move fast. He did not raise his voice. "Sir," he said to Isaiah, "do you have documents that show your boundary?" Isaiah nodded. "Yes, sir. Right here." He stepped back inside, took a breath, and pulled a gray binder from the shelf. He set it on the table. The binder had tabs: deed, survey, tax receipt, plow dues. He had made it the week he moved in. He believed in being ready and being kind. On the porch, Isaiah laid the deed and the survey flat. He pointed at the cabin outline on the page. His name, the parcel number, the dates. The officer took a photo with his body camera. He read the lines. He spoke into his radio, confirming parcel on file. "Owner present. Survey provided." Margaret folded her arms. "That survey is wrong. People like him always—" She stopped when the officer lifted his hand, calm and clear. "Ma'am, let's keep this respectful," he said. "We will check property records." Isaiah did not raise his voice. He kept his hands open and in view. He stepped aside, let the cold air drift in, and offered to bring the binder inside out of the snow so the pages would not warp. The officer nodded. Everyone followed him to the small table near the window. The fire gave a soft, steady glow. The radio crackled. The dispatcher read the parcel notes. "Confirmed. Private land, 1.3 acres, cabin and gravel pad recorded." The room changed. Not with drama, with a simple truth settling into place. The officer nodded. "Thank you," he said. "Sir, your documents match county records. There's no community rule about your porch swing or truck pad on your land." Margaret's eyes darted to the window. Then back to the pages. Well, the view is for all of us. He's taking it. Isaiah looked out at the ridge. Snow fell in soft sheets. Ma'am, he said, the view is wide and the mountain is big. You're welcome to enjoy it from the road pull-off or the trail. My porch is my home. Silence sat with them for a moment. Then Isaiah turned one more tab in the binder. I brought something else, he said. Copies of the group's original note from years back. Ploughed use only, no design control, emergency tree. The officer read the paragraph. He looked at the others from the road group. One of them winced a little and said, that sounds right. The officer stood. His tone stayed even. Here's what we're going to do. There is no violation here. Sir, you're within your right to keep your swing and your truck pad on your land. Ma'am, please limit future concerns to the road upkeep that the group agreed to manage. If there are disputes, use daytime meetings and county records, not night calls. Margaret's shoulders tensed. She started to speak and then stopped. She looked at Isaiah for a long second and said softer than before, I grew up here. We used to sit on this ridge every Sunday. It felt ours. Isaiah's face softened too. I hear that, he said. I don't want to take away your memories. If you'd like to watch the sunset from the trail pull off this weekend, I can shovel an extra path to make it safer. But my porch is my porch. The officer thanked everyone and walked out to his SUV. The others followed. At the steps, Margaret paused, looked back, and almost a whisper said, Thank you for being calm. Then she went down into the snowy dark. When the night settled again, Isaiah stood at the window and watched the flakes gather on the swing. He felt the slow drop of a heavy feeling leave his chest. He set the binder back on the shelf. He turned down the fire, pulled a blanket over the couch, and slept with the easy breath the mountain had promised him when he first arrived. Morning painted the ridge gold. Isaiah brewed coffee, then sat at the small table and wrote a plan. Not a revenge plan, a repair plan. He made a list, emailed the road group with the county's note and the survey page, asked for a daytime meeting to set fair ground rules, offer to help mark trail pull-offs for shared views, suggest a winter reminder, do not knock late at night. He typed in simple words. He kept the tone kind. He hit send. By noon, replies arrived. One neighbor wrote, I'm sorry for last night. We'll fix this. Another offered to bring flags to mark the pull-off and a thermos of cocoa for anyone who helped. The road group set a Saturday meeting at the old ranger shed. Bring your maps, the invite said. Bring your patience. Bring warm gloves. Saturday came clear and blue. You could see forever. People stepped out of trucks, stamped snow from boots and gathered under the shed roof. Isaiah came early and brought extra copies of his binder pages, in case anyone wanted one. He laid them in a neat stack on a picnic table. The meeting started with the road budget, salt costs, plow days, the crack near the bend. Then they turned to viewpoints and late-night visits. Isaiah went last. He did not point at anyone. He talked about the difference between a shared road and private land, about how a porch is part of a home, about kindness in tense moments. He said, if something feels off at night, call the non-emergency line, not your neighbor's door. Daylight helps everyone think better. People nodded. A hand went up at the back. It was Margaret. She stepped forward, hands tucked in her coat. Her voice was quieter than it had been on the porch. I'm sorry I made that call, she said. I missed the way things were when I was a kid. But I was wrong about your porch, and I should not have come at night. I want this to be a good place to live for all of us. Isaiah nodded. Thank you, he said. Let's make it good.